and that is Shea Petty has signed a third 7-day contract with the Fever. So 7-day, today is what, Tuesday? So today's Tuesday, and I believe this is the 7th week Caitlin Clark has been out. This is the 7th week Caitlin Clark has.
Recent developments surrounding the Indiana Fever have created significant concern regarding player availability and team stability. Chloe Bibby finds herself dealing with recurring health issues that have placed her status in jeopardy once again. The organization has officially designated her as a game-time decision, marking the second occasion where a player has experienced setbacks after returning from injured reserve status. The situation appears troubling as Bibby was cleared for the previous matchup against the Sparks but remains sidelined. Her current placement back on injured reserve suggests ongoing complications that could potentially sideline her for extended periods.
Week, Caitlin Clark has been out. You guys do understand that, right? Now, based on the injury that they told us Caitlin Clark had, which was this right here, it says the recovery time for a grade 1 growing strain typically ranges from 1 to 2 weeks. Factors affecting recovery time: severity of the strain, age and overall health of the individual, adherence to treatment plan, and activity level before the injury. Now, we know Caitlin Clark is an athlete.
This pattern raises questions about whether she will remain with the franchise when Caitlin Clark returns to active duty, as the team may explore alternative roster options given the circumstances. The 2025 campaign has proven exceptionally challenging for Indiana from a personnel standpoint. Multiple setbacks have plagued the organization, creating what many observers describe as an unusually difficult season filled with obstacles. The team's championship aspirations have faced numerous hurdles since the opening contest. Various incidents have marked the timeline of difficulties.
Athlete that has all of these state-of-the-art equipment, hyperbaric chambers, things that she needs to make this recovery process faster than it has to be. And I'm here to tell you, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are lying to us. I don't believe Caitlin Clark has a growing strain anymore at this point. I'm starting to believe Caitlin Clark never had a growing strain. I'm starting to believe this is way worse than we ever could imagine. And a lot of people is saying that,
early season controversies included league investigations following allegations of inappropriate crowd behavior directed at players. Shortly afterward, Caitlin Clark sustained her initial injury, creating additional drama for the organization. Upon her return, Clark delivered an impressive 30-point performance, only to suffer another setback games later. Subsequently, Dana Bonner expressed dissatisfaction with her situation, adding another layer of complexity to team dynamics. The injury situation extends beyond Bibby's current status.
And a lot of people is saying that, like tweets like this. Let me show you this real quick. Is this is what get my boy boiling. Tweets like this: you're implying Caitlin Clark wanted her injury kept a secret to HIPAA rules. This has nothing to do with HIPAA. This has nothing to do with HIPAA. This has nothing to do with any of her personal information. This is simply transparency.
Earlier incidents involving physical contact between players have raised concerns about whether certain injuries could have been prevented. Specific incidents involving J.C. Sheldon and Marina Mayberry resulted in contact that may have contributed to Clark's subsequent health problems. These events have sparked debate about whether the star player would have remained healthy throughout the entire season without such occurrences. Updated injury reports confirm Bibby's questionable status due to the same left knee problem that previously sidelined her. After missing 3 consecutive games, becoming available but not playing against Los Angeles, she now faces uncertainty regarding her participation in upcoming contests against the Valkyries.
Transparency. Because, in any other sport, when players get hurt, especially star players, we know what the injury is. We know the time frame. What happened to Tyrese Halliburton at the finals? He tore his Achilles. He's out. We know his time frame for him to be out. He tore his Achilles. Transparency. We know that's the injury. He's walking around with them boot on his leg. When it comes to Caitlin Clark in this league, They're premature. They don't.
The recurring nature of this issue raises questions about practice-related incidents or underlying complications. The broader WNBA landscape has experienced an unusual number of player injuries this season, creating challenges across multiple franchises. This trend has affected competitive balance and roster stability throughout the league. Current projections suggest Clark may return to action within the next week, as her recovery appears to be progressing favorably. The September 7th date represents the estimated timeline for her comeback, with May 1st marking when she was initially placed on the inactive list.
When it comes to Caitlin Clark in this league, they're premature. They don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm starting to fault Kelly Kristoff, Amber Cox, and Lynn Dunn. I am truly starting to fault those individuals at this point, because as of right now, the way things are looking, if the fans leave, it's all over. Y'all do realize that. The Fever is no longer the Fever. We leave, and I'm not talking basketball fans. Basketball fans are going to stay.
The team's playoff preparations will largely depend on having their key players healthy and available. In positive roster news, the Indiana organization has secured Odyssey Sims for the remainder of the season following her impressive performance against the Los Angeles Sparks. Her clutch game-winning shot in the fourth quarter, combined with overall strong play during critical moments, earned her an extended contract opportunity. The decision reflects the value she brings during crucial situations. The signing operates under hardship waiver provisions, meaning the franchise does not need to release existing players to accommodate the new agreement.
All fans are going to stay. The nerds are going to stay. I'm talking about your everyday. I want to see Caitlin Clark from Iowa hit Logo 3 fans. I'm not talking basketball fans. Run this set, run that scheme. Oh, that play there, this offense. No, we ain't talking X's and O's. We're talking turn on the damn TV. She's hitting Logo 3s. Those fans, bro, they are going to leave.
This mechanism allows teams to maintain roster flexibility during challenging periods when multiple players face health issues. Indiana remains eligible for additional hardship exceptions throughout the remainder of the season and postseason due to their injury-related circumstances. Additionally, Aerial Powers has received another 7-day contract extension, demonstrating the organization's confidence in her contributions. Her performance in key situations has warranted continued consideration for roster inclusion. The franchise appears committed to evaluating multiple options as they navigate their current personnel challenges.
What's going to happen then? What's going to happen when the casual fan says, you know what, I'm cutting it off? Because I'm telling you right now, a lot of fans are already doing that. They're already cutting the TV off. They're already cutting our channels off. I didn't see the drop in my views in the last month. And guess what they did? They cut John Liquidator off. And I've been watching all across the land. See, that's why I'm so real. Because I speak about.
The team's upcoming schedule presents additional challenges, with contests against competitive opponents including the Valkyries and other strong franchises. Success will largely depend on player availability and the ability to maintain consistency despite ongoing roster uncertainty. These developments highlight the unpredictable nature of professional sports, where injuries and roster changes can significantly impact championship aspirations. The Indiana organization faces critical decisions regarding personnel management while attempting to maintain competitive excellence during the final stretch of the season and potential playoff run. The combination of returning stars, new signings, and ongoing health concerns creates a complex dynamic that will determine the team's ultimate success.
The old WNBA. And I mean that when I say that. The reason why I'm going to title this to Expose the Fever is because what did the Indiana Fever do? The Indiana Fever hired everything with WNBA experience. They hired a WNBA head coach. They hired a GM who was the marketing brains behind the wings. They hired a president of basketball who.
Fans and analysts continue monitoring the situation closely as the franchise works to overcome these obstacles and achieve their championship goals despite the numerous setbacks encountered throughout this challenging campaign. The Indiana Fever organization finds itself in a challenging situation that
a president of basketball who, yes, came from the Pacers, but also came from the Fever, So starts making all old WNBA decisions. Let's not forget, the first thing they did was let's try to bring Natasha Howard back. And I don't think Natasha Howard's been bad, but Natasha Howard is a good player, but she's not a modern player. She is a 5 in the body of a 3. She's a non-shooting, non-floor spacing power forward. And the Golden State Valkyries.
The original diagnosis suggested Clark sustained a grade 1 groin strain, which typically requires only 1 to 2 weeks for complete healing. Medical experts note that recovery duration depends on various elements including injury severity, patient age, physical condition, treatment compliance, and prior activity levels. Given Clark's status as a professional athlete with access to advanced recovery equipment and specialized medical care, the extended absence seems inconsistent with the reported injury. Growing skepticism surrounds the accuracy of the initial diagnosis. Many observers now question whether the groin strain explanation remains valid or if it ever accurately described Clark's condition.
And the Golden State Valkyries are exposing the entire WNBA. And the reason why I'm getting more angry at the Fever is the Fever had an entire front office overhaul and somehow are behind the 8 ball. The Golden State Valkyries went out. And by the way, if you asked me what I wanted in the offseason for the Fever, I said for the Fever, I wanted defense, running, 3-point shooting. The Fever got all of that, but they got defense with nothing else in Bree Turner.
The prolonged timeline suggests the situation may be more complex than originally disclosed. Comparisons to other professional sports highlight the transparency gap. When prominent athletes in other leagues suffer injuries, teams typically provide clear diagnoses, treatment plans, and realistic return timelines. The Fever's handling of this situation stands in stark contrast to standard practices across professional athletics. The lack of clarity has created significant consequences for fan engagement and media coverage.
Fever got all of that, but they got defense with nothing else in Bree Turner. They got Natasha Howard, who used to run, and they got 3-point shooting in Sophie Cunningham. Does Sid Colson do any of those 3 things? No, not really. Sid Colson's a 5-minute per game energy player. I don't even hate the Sid Colson thing. I hate the Sid Colson signing because they only went out with 11. If we had a legit backup point guard, as in a Wheeler or a Grace Berger or something, or if we had managed to get ourselves find a way to get a Julie Van Loo, find a way to get a legit backup.
Viewership numbers have declined substantially, with many casual supporters losing interest during Clark's extended absence. This phenomenon extends beyond traditional basketball enthusiasts to include newer fans who were specifically drawn to watch Clark's unique playing style and long-range shooting ability. Media personalities covering the team report dramatic drops in audience engagement, with viewing figures resembling off-season numbers despite occurring during active competition. The absence of Clark, combined with unclear communication from the organization, has driven away many supporters who initially became interested in women's basketball specifically to watch her play.
A legit backup one. If that had happened with Sid Colson, the 3rd string, I don't mind it. Just like I liked when Sid Colson was there when it was Caitlin, Ari, and Colson. I like Sid Colson being on the roster. I didn't like Sid Colson as a rotation player. But clearly that's what she came to the Fever to do. Sid Colson was playing a career high in minutes this year. But yeah, it's one of those things. Natasha Howard, look, I'm going to say this. I liked, unpopular opinion, we can all talk about hindsight, but
the team's management, including key executives Kelly Krauskopf, Amber Cox, and Lynn Dunn, faces mounting criticism for their handling of the situation. The repeated contract extensions for replacement players suggest Clark's return remains unlikely in the immediate future, despite earlier suggestions that she might participate in upcoming games. Financial implications extend beyond the organization to affiliated content creators and media outlets, who report significant revenue losses due to decreased fan interest. The ripple effect demonstrates how one player's absence can impact an entire ecosystem built around team coverage and analysis.
Howard, look, I'm going to say this. I liked, unpopular opinion, we can all talk about hindsight, but the DeWanna Bonner edition, based on how she played for the Sun, looked like a good addition. She didn't fit from second 1 with this team. From second 1 of preseason, DeWanna Bonner did not fit, but the DeWanna Bonner signing makes sense. The Bree Turner signing makes no sense. The keeping Damiris Dantas makes no sense. We have a bunch of one-dimensional players, but if you look at this team, Carla Late's one of the quickest guards in the league. Caitlin Chen is a safe pair of hands. 12th man, it is what it is. Letitia Amiher is defense, athletic.
Current speculation suggests Clark may not return for the remainder of the regular season, which would severely impact the team's playoff prospects. With only a few games remaining, the organization faces the possibility of either missing the playoffs entirely or entering as a lower seed vulnerable to early elimination. The situation has created frustration among supporters who invested time and money in tickets, travel, and merchandise specifically to see Clark play. Many report missing multiple opportunities to attend games, including all-star events, due to her ongoing absence.
Defense, athleticism. Kayla Thornton, jack of all trades. She gets bored, she plays defense, she hits shots. Kayla Charles, she plays defense, she hits shots, she runs. Ileana Rupert, she plays defense, she's a stretch 4, she spreads the floor. Janelle Salon, stretch 4, plays defense, spread the floor. Temi, rim running center, elite defender, can spread the floor if needed. Temi is a way better three-point shooter than people think. She's probably shooting in the third. What's Temi? I wonder what Temi's shooting from the three-point line this year. My prediction would be high 20s. Like, it's better than Dantas.
The organization's communication strategy resembles leading supporters along with false hope rather than providing honest updates about Clark's status. This approach has eroded trust between the franchise and its fan base, particularly among newer supporters who may not maintain loyalty through extended disappointments. Some observers believe Clark herself may ultimately make the decision about her return, potentially following the precedent she set during All-Star Weekend when she chose not to participate. The possibility exists that she might announce her own decision to sit out the remainder of the season rather than continuing the current uncertainty.
Three-point line this year. My prediction would be high 20s. Like, it's better than Dantas. She's a better shooter than Dantas, but like, Temi is shooting... Oh, geez, she's shooting terribly from 3 this year. Geez, she's shooting 19%. She's actually not shooting better than Dantas. She's not shooting better than Dantas. But she has been shooting better over the last couple of games. She has been. Geez, I didn't realize that. But Temi can shoot a little bit. Like, I watched her, obviously. She can shoot a little bit. But Jesus Christ, no, I'm wrong with that. She's shooting 19% from 3.
The broader implications for women's basketball remain concerning, as Clark's popularity brought unprecedented attention to the sport. Her continued absence risks losing the momentum generated by increased mainstream interest and media coverage. Without transparent communication and a clear resolution, the Indiana Fever risks permanent damage to their relationship with both casual and dedicated supporters. The organization's handling of this situation will likely influence fan loyalty and attendance for seasons to come, regardless of Clark's eventual return to competition.